Just a reminder of the format. We'll hear some opening remarks from Coach Oates, then we'll direct questions to the student-athletes, and then Coach Oates will take your questions after.
That was a fun game to be a part of. Texas Tech's a very good team, and they've done a lot to win the amount of games they've won and beat the team. I mean, they lost a National Player of the Year candidate in Toppin and then figured out how to win against some really good teams. I mean, Iowa State's Sweet 16 team dominated Kentucky at all facets today, and this Tech team went to Iowa State and beat them without Toppin. So for us to win in the fashion we did, I got a lot of respect for Grant. I think he's one of the best coaches in the country. Total class act. I got a lot of respect for what he did once he lost Toppin. So for our guys to come in and do what they did in this game, I got a lot of respect for these seniors. They came ready to go. Trelly's defense on Anderson. Anderson's one of the best guards in the country. But Trelly's defense on Anderson, 2 for 11, 1 of 7 from 3, 7 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 2 turnovers. I don't know if he's ever had a game that bad because I think he's one of the best guards in the country. So you got to give Reitzel a ton of credit. All 3 of these seniors came with the mentality we're not going home, and you could tell it. And I tell our guys all the time, just be about the right stuff, lose yourself in the game, and the other stuff takes care of itself. So you go down the list, and Houston wins the hard at tonight, and in limited minutes, Noah was right there. Trelly, Noah had 9, Trelly had 13. They were some of our leaders. You look at the 3 of these guys, what they shot from 3. Trelly goes 6 of 9, Houston goes 5 for 7, and then Noah goes 2 for 2. And I think they just bought into being about the right stuff. So, these guys hit 13 threes between, the 3 of them go 13 of 18. When you just lose yourself in a game, lock into playing defense, making the effort plays, getting stops, getting rebounds, that stuff takes care of itself, and I think this game exemplified it as much as any game you've ever seen. So I thought these guys were about the right stuff. I'm super happy for these seniors. This is the 4th straight Sweet 16 we've been to. These guys know what winning takes. Trelly's been here 3 years, been a part of a Final Four and Elite 8. Now a Sweet 16 team. We're trying to make a deeper run. Houston came in, was part of last year's Elite 8 run, but even though he wasn't playing at that point, and Noah came in here to win. And he's been all about the right stuff. I'm super happy. He's 3 for 3 in the tournament. We're seeing a different side of him. He ends up with 8 points, plays well. Thought he made some big defensive plays, had a steal. So really happy for these guys. Really happy for the entire team. I thought these guys really were about the right stuff.
Questions for the student-athletes?
Gentlemen, I'm wondering if you can each address what Coach just talked about, this not being your last game. What got into your mindset? Noah, Houston, and Latrell, what went into tonight to make sure that tonight wasn't your last night of college basketball?
You never want to stop playing. You don't want it to end. So, I think it's self-explanatory. You go out there and just fight to move on, and that's what we did. We came out there with a energy and effort that wasn't matched today, and we played for each other. We played to move on, but we also played one possession at a time. We didn't take it for granted. We just wanted to get a stop and a bucket each possession at a time, and it was never looking at the bigger picture, never looking at the score, just one possession at a time. And I think over time it built up a lead for us. And we're thankful we made shots, but at the end of the day, it was really a focus on defense and our mentality to get stops, and that's what we did. And once we got stops, our offense took care of itself. But, yeah.
Yeah, I'd say to piggyback off what Trelly said, our team has real mudita, and, we cheer for others' success, each other's success like it's our own success. You can see it with our team, with our program. We've dealt with probably more adversity than any other program in the country this year. And I think we've been really well equipped in not focusing on what's happened to us, but more so our response. And I think the way we've responded time after time after time, and the way we've prepared in practice And like our last week of practice, I mean, was probably the best week of practice we've had. Our film numbers were the best they've been. Like, we're doing all the right things, I think, and I think it's showing off. And like I mean, the big thing is like we love each other, man. Like I told Trelly today, like I love you, bro. I told everybody, like I don't want to leave Alabama. I will die for this school. Like I love this place, and these guys love it as well. And that's kind of been our whole motto this year.
We had a long day leading up to this game. A lot of time to think about the finality of it. You know, if we lose today, that's the last college basketball game that us three are going to ever play. And I think that led into us having the right disposition coming out, playing hard. I think the scoreboard kind of took care of itself. Like, I wouldn't say we really stopped to look at it too often. It's just enjoying yourself, like playing as hard as you can. Like, it's the joy of the basketball.
Bill Haggerty, Amped Up Sports here in Tampa. I'm going to follow up a little bit on that for all three of you and start with Noah. I'm assuming you saw what happened to Florida. They came out, didn't get after it right away, and it got to be a problem. Did you guys talk about this? We got to put the pedal to the metal right away.
Yeah, we talked about how, off the rip, we got to come out with the right disposition, play hard, turn them over, not turn it over ourselves. And I think we did just that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it all goes into like our preparation. Like, I think we've been incredibly prepared, and we focused on the things we can control and things we need to focus on. I want to give a shout out to Trelly, because Trelly is the senior starting for us, and like the way he started, like our senior night on Auburn, or the way he started against Hofstra, and the way he started tonight, like it's kind of, you feel the presence. Like, I mean, he's incredibly physical. He's been our point of attack defender. Like, he's elite, and I think that's kind of what we've been focused on, is just everything we can do to try and win.
And for me, I'll just say I think it starts with the top guy, our coach. Our preparation through film, through everything we do, walk through everything is just detailed to a timely manner. And I think he instills in us to just play hard, work on our effort, and everything else will take care of itself. And so when we have our coach believing in us, and it starts with our top guy doing everything right, we just follow suit. And once we follow suit and stick to his game plan, I think everything else works out, because he's a really good coach and he prepares us really well. So, yeah.
Houston, I wonder if you can address what was kind of talked about all season long with rebounding. And yesterday, Coach Oates talked about the guards needing to rebound well. Your first three came off of a double offensive rebound. You got the first one, and someone else got the second, kicking out to you. Just what was working for you guys on the boards, and what was your mentality attacking the offensive glass?
Yeah, I mean, we play this thing called the possession game. That's like one of our main things. Coach Oates has probably talked about it. We just want to get more possessions, because we got the shot geography figured out. If we get more possessions than the other team, we're going to be in pretty good shape to win that game. So with that being said, just being out there and just playing with a reckless abandon. Like, I tell these guys all the time, like, I play basketball the way I live my life, and that's with passion. And I think these guys do as well. And we just come out there and we compete to the best of our ability. And rebounding is a big thing. Like, especially in our next game, I know that'll be a huge point of emphasis. But also, we knew their guards were playing heavy minutes, and so just crashing and playing fast were two big points of emphasis for us.
Latrell, kind of like how your coach mentioned, you guarded Christian most of the game. What tendencies did you see from him that you tried to take away that he did well, and what kind of things did you try to exploit to kind of get him into this game?
I mean, with a really good guard like that, I think you just try to make it tough and just put a body on him each time down, make him feel your physicality and presence there every time. So that's what I tried to do, just disrupt his timing a little bit. But, I mean, with a good guard like that, sometimes you just got to pray for some misses too. And, I mean, I think I did a pretty good job just getting into the ball. And, it wasn't just all me. I think as a team, collectively, our guys just, our big man, Rail, Noah, just telling me coverages in the ball screens and stuff, because they run a lot of ball screens, and helping me out from the backside of, like, the coverages of what I need to do and then getting the ball and stuff like that. And then we also prepared really well, and our coaches gave me a really good game plan on how to guard and what we need to do. And so that's what I really did. And, I mean, I just tried to just make it as hard as possible on them and make it difficult, and I'm glad it worked out.
Guys, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach?
Bill Haggerty, Amped Up Sports here in Tampa. Coach, when did you feel my guys are locked in tonight and we're focused?
You know what? When we were all over the old boards right out of the gate, and thought when Reitzel first possession was really into Anderson, I liked their energy right out of the game. I mean, I knew we were. I told them before the game too. Like, you know, I'm pretty close with T.J. Otzelberger. He played at Whitewater where I coach. I've known him since we were both right out of college. And I watched parts of their game today, and he made the statement when they were down 12, I think, at the under 12 media timeout. He got interviewed, and, you know, Kentucky was up. He said they're making some shots that they're not going to make as the game goes on and gets tired. I told our guys at our last meeting right before pregame meal, same thing tonight. Like guys, they got tough shot makers. They may make some shots that very tough shots. I mean, Christian, Petty, and Atwell can all make tough shots. We're not going to worry about that. We're going to play as hard as we can possibly play on every possession. They make some tough shots. They make them. You know, Iowa State ends up blowing them out by 20. I said, whatever happens early, just keep playing the right way, play hard, and the score will take care of itself. So I thought we were playing hard out of the gate. I mean, first half, I think we had 12 old boards. And this is a team that we showed the game that they won at Iowa State on February 28th. In the first two possessions of the game, Texas Tech had 3 old boards, and 2 of them were from the guards. Petty got one and Anderson got one. And I told our guys, like, we got to outdo these guys on the effort stuff, because every team that grants every coach in his life always is based on playing hard and the effort stuff like we try to do. And I said, if we can outdo them on that effort stuff, we're going to win this game. And we call them blue-collar points, basically effort points, and we were dominating that stuff in the first half. They came back, made it a little tight in the second half. They played a little harder, and I think our guys relaxed a little bit. The lead went from 24 to 18. You know, and then we did blow it back up to 34 at one point there over about a 7-minute stretch. But, you know, for the most part, I thought we kept just playing the right way, playing hard. So I think right out of the gate, when we had the possession with multiple old boards, we're here. We're ready to play.
Coach, on that same note, you talked yesterday about the guards needing to rebound to win this game. I believe I'm counting 32 rebounds from the guards today. What did you see out of them, and what gave you the advantage? What do you think gave you the advantage on the glass?
I mean, Barron was looking at a triple-double if he could have got 4 rebounds in the second half. If he'd have got 4 rebounds in the second half, he probably pushes it, gets the 1 more point and 4 rebounds he needed. Like when LeBaron rebounds, our offense's numbers are ridiculously high because he's pushing it. They can't stop him. So, you know, I think it's when they get, you know, Reitzel has 4. Barron has 6 all in the first half when we started to build the lead up. Houston Millett has 8, plays super hard, 5 old boards. Like his effort, I love that kid. I love this whole team. We've got through all kinds of adversity, and they just, like you heard Houston, he loves the guys. Coaches love our team. I love coaching these guys, but man, he plays hard and he deserves to have a night like this, 5 of 7 from 3. I just kept telling him, like, you're about the right stuff. You work too hard. You play too hard for this stuff not to get rewarded. It's going to get rewarded, and it was rewarded tonight. So, you know, I'm proud of the way they fought, played hard. Really, everybody. You think about these 3 seniors. You know, I think what they combined for 47 points, but Philon didn't score in double figures. I don't think he cared. He would have loved to get a triple-double. Maybe we can get him to rebound a little more. But he averaged double-digit assists. He just had a career high in assists. He averaged double-double here, you know, and take the 27 and 9. So he averaged 18 and 10, and his rebounds were up there too. Maybe 7 I think he averaged. I think he had 8 rebounds. So 18, 10, and 7 is pretty solid 2-game stretch for Barron. So I think everybody was locked into being about the right stuff tonight.
Chase Goodbread with the Tuscaloosa News. You've mentioned some concerns at various times this season about your defense, most recently against Ole Miss and Nashville. What do you make of the team coming here and against Hofstra and now Texas Tech putting together back-to-back good defensive efforts?
Yeah, when we made the Final Four on, our defense wasn't great that year, and we finally convinced them if we guard at the level we should have been guarding all year, we can beat anybody in the country. And we win 4 games, and I think if you go look at the statistics on those 4 games that we won in the tournament, the defense was ranked significantly higher than it was all year. If we guard like we did tonight, particularly at the point of attack with our guards, we can compete with anybody in the country. Now, obviously, Michigan's looming, and they got ridiculous size all over the place, and we're going to have to rebound. Our bigs are going to have to bring it. Without Toppin, Tech's front court was definitely decimated, and I thought we were able to go smaller, switch, playing Taylor and London in there a lot. It was great that Noah played well. Sherrell ends up in foul trouble, took him out, and they'd gone smaller. We stayed small. It's nice we're able to rest Sherrell. Hopefully he's fresh because we're going to need him to play as many minutes as he can possibly play against Michigan here. But I think defensively, with our effort, we ended up with 8 steals. We're a team that hasn't been able to force, many turnovers. As a team with good guards, we forced double-digit turnovers. We haven't done that a lot this year. I think if we guard like we did on the perimeter, and then our bigs are going to have to really step up here against Michigan, we know, we give ourselves a chance. And Michigan's been maybe the most dominant team in the country. Probably them Arizona and Duke. Those 3 teams have been the most dominant 3 teams in the country, and we're going to have to be ready to go on Friday in Chicago.
Hey, Coach, just fourth straight Sweet 16. Just you guys, Houston, and Tennessee are the only teams that could claim that right now. Just what does it say about the program you've been able to build here?
Yeah, you look at those 2 coaches, I got the utmost respect for Rick and Kelvin. I think they're 2 of the best to ever do it. I'm not as good as them. I got a long ways to go. Both their teams play better defense on a consistent basis. If I can get our guys to guard, like both those 2 guys, get their teams to guard, we'll be playing a long time this year yet. That's the goal. So that's pretty good company to be in. We've done it a little different than those teams. Our offense is hard to guard, especially these teams. We'll play teams, and nobody in the Big 12 really plays like we played. I think BYU did until they got hurt with a bunch of injuries. We try to go through the schedule and see who plays similar to us on these team schedules. And Big 12's best league. SEC's pretty good. I don't know how many SEC teams ended up making it. 4 out of the Sweet 16. Is that the most?
Florida got beat.
Yeah, so is that the most of any conference? Yeah, Florida got beat, right? Arkansas, us, Tennessee, and Texas, right? And by the way, Ole Miss lost to Texas. We lost to Ole Miss. So Ole Miss woke 2 teams up, got them to. So thank you to Coach Beard and company. Us and Texas both got a wake-up call at the SEC tournament. So, but we've been able to be a little better offensively and a little different than what a lot of these teams see. We've got to get our defense better on a consistent basis. 2 of the 7 years we've been here, we've gotten to top 3 in the country in defensive efficiency, but this year we weren't. I think Coach Adams does an unbelievable job. I thought he put together an unbelievably great game plan tonight, and he works tirelessly. He's an NBA guy that's really fell in love with college, and I think he's great. I love him. It's on me to get more effort, better buy-in from the guys on the defensive end, and but to be in the same categories as Tennessee with Coach Barnes and Houston with, I think Houston's the only one to make more since we've been here. We made the first year that they had the tournament, which would have been our 2nd year. Houston's made every one, and we missed the 1 year. The 2nd time they had the NCAA tournament after that Sweet 16 run with, what was that, 21. We missed 22, and he didn't miss 22. When you play as hard as they play every night out, you're going to be in the Sweet 16 pretty much every year.
Take 2 more questions.
Nick Villamil, Tampa Bay Times. Coach, talking not only about the results, but to be leading a program that has guys who talk about themselves and you in the way that those three guys just spoke about themselves as they just did and as how they just spoke about you, just what does that mean to you?
Means a lot because I got into coaching at a Division III level as a volunteer assistant for 5 years. I didn't make any money. I just coached because I wanted to coach, and I took the high school job back in Metro Detroit, Romulus. And it's interesting. Former principal Hal Hurd was in the building tonight. It's pretty cool. He had some good people I worked with at Romulus. But I used to tell my assistant, Josh Baker, who was with me a long time, that he took his own program at Southfield Christian, won 5 state championships. I'm super proud of my former. Brian Hodgson was in the building, super proud of a lot of former assistants that do it. But it's the whole family. I try to run it like a family like we did in high school. But I used to tell Josh all the time, if all we do is teach these guys to put this round ball through this ring, man, we're wasting an awful lot of time in the gym because we spend an awful lot of time in the gym. Too much, to be honest with you. But I still try to run it like a high school program and that have the guys out to the house, spend a lot of time with them, build real, genuine relationships. And people can question different things we do, but the one thing I think everybody will say about us in our program we've had, starting Romulus, Buffalo here, is that we love our guys. We got 3 core values. One of them, selfless love. We get out of ourselves. We get into the team. You heard Houston talk about Mudita. And we teach our guys how to love each other, love the community, love the program. And nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect, neither are they. But I want a real relationship with these 3, everybody that's played with me for 30, 40, 50 years. Like, I want to get invited to their weddings. I want them to be close with my daughters. I want a family atmosphere, and I think we built that, and I think you see it from those guys. That means a lot more to me than winning games. So I think when you build it like that, you're doing it the right way, you're coaching for the right reasons, and that meant a lot to hear what Houston, Trelly, Noah said tonight. Meant a lot to me.
Coach Leo Haggerty, Amped Up Sports here in Tampa. When you look at the stat sheet, almost a third of your points come from the bench. You don't fall off. You reload when you sub, right?
Yeah, not all the time, but tonight we did. Houston's 15 certainly hurt or helped them, and Noah, hasn't played like this, maybe. But man, all he keeps telling me is I don't want to be the reason we lose. Like, he's just such a good kid. I'm gonna give you everything I got, Coach. For a kid that maybe didn't play as well through the course of the years, what maybe he wanted, we had hoped, whatever. He doesn't really care, and I think that's the culture that the program's built. It's not about him. It's about what he can do to help us win. And Houston's never been about himself. You should have seen, he goes 5 of 7 from 3, has 15 points, 8 rebounds, and he was most excited about the fact he won the hard hat. Finally. It's like, hey, he finally wins it. He hit 5-0 boards, plays so hard. And the greatest thing is, you got to figure out who wants to slap the Alabama on the thing, for TV and whatnot. The guys had Noah do it. They're so excited for Noah because he's been about the right stuff, sets great screens, rebounds, played hard. So Taylor and Noah were the 2 guys that they picked in the 2 games. So Taylor's been about all the right stuff. So proud of Taylor. His scoring wasn't, what we wanted, but he didn't care. We won. They're calling him Tournament Taylor, because we see a different side of Taylor in the tournament. Noah's come alive. So I think when you build a culture where the guys, and these guys built the culture with us, they're a part of it. You go back to Herb Jones and Jordan Bruner and Alex Reese and all those guys back that helped us build it when we won the SEC regular season tournament in year 2 and made a Sweet 16. When you started like that and you got guys that continue to build it the right way, and they just make it about the team, I think good things happen to them. So the bench production, all those guys cared about was helping the team. So really the bench production was Taylor, Houston, Noah. None of them care that they don't start. It's just whatever they can do to help the team. So I love when you get production off the bench. I love when all the guys just care about winning the game and having real Mudita.
Thanks, Coach.
appreciate you guys from Alabama making a trip out here to cover us. It means a lot. Thank you. It's Monday, by the way. It's Monday back in Alabama, too.
Texas Tech, in addition to Coach McCaslin, will have Christian Anderson and Donovan Atwell.